Okay, here's my sound preferences. I like a variety of different tunings, but really what gets my juices flowing, starting from the lower octaves, is in the bass. I like my bass punchy, tight, fast with a kick. I like a little bit of energy down there, maybe a little bit of warmth, but not too much getting into bass bleeding. It's got to have enough weight to make male vocals, make piano, cello, percussions, have the right tonality. When it comes to my mids, I do like my mids and mid clarity, but I don't like too forward a mid, so that's the upper mids I'm talking about. So keep the pinna gain down a little bit and not make it too forward a presentation. And when it comes to the highs, I do like my sparkly highs. At my age, I'm probably losing a little bit of the high frequencies. But not too much where it's sibilant and in your face. So that's what I like.
Don't you dare look me in the eye, 'cause I got nothing but time and I'm ready to fight. Down, 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 falling down. If you see me crawling on the 101, well, life, traffic jam, road rage, cameraman, shit, pile up, come undone, done. Come undone, undone, come undone. I'm so tired of being pushed around. I won't quit until I hit the ground. I'm so fucking tired of being pushed around. I won't quit until I hit the ground. Well, you might think I'm just an average Joe, but I'm so damn fucking tired of being pushed around, standing on the verge and I'm ready to blow, ready to blow. Here we go, I'm ready to blow. I'm so tired of being pushed around. I won't quit until I hit the ground. I'm so fucking tired of being pushed around. I won't quit until I hit the ground.
Oh, good morning. Well, it is for me anyway. I'm bringing you a couple today, some special ones. One I've had on the radar, and I never did purchase this one, but it's always been on my radar. Today, I'm talking to you about Unique Melodies Mest Mkii. I was always curious. I've seen so much hype about the Mest Mkii's, nothing really too negative. And neither can I say anything too bad about this set, though I will say it is a very niche set. It's not an all-rounder, that's for sure. At $1,799, it is in the kilobuck range. Rightly so. It's got a really interesting driver count as well. Let's first talk about these little shells. medium-sized shells. They're nice, quite compact considering what's inside. There's one dynamic driver, 4 balanced armatures, 2 EST drivers from Sonyan, and a double-sided bone conduction driver that seems to be mounted to the top plate of these quite nice resin shells. Fit and finish, no complaints. Stainless steel nozzle right there. You can see kind of a mesh underneath and 4 tubes in the bore, which is nice. The fit is good for me, and I heard that was one of the big differences between the original and Mark II was the fitment, and for me they fit great. This is the cable that comes with it. Again, kind of disappointed, and again using the extended 2-pin for a recessed socket, which it doesn't have, and I guess that's one of my pet peeves in the fact that they throw on cables that aren't really designed for the IM. On the top, it says Unique Melody on one side, it says Mest on the other. So tastefully done, very nice, 0 complaints about fit, finish, any of that. Now, this set was loaned to me by a friend, and he did say straight off the bat that he gets driver flex from this. So when you put them in your ear, they go pop, pop, right? For me, knowing that going in, I used Divinus tips, which seemed to have alleviated 99% of it, so I didn't really get any driver flex. It's annoying more than it is damaging to your drivers. I'm not sure what long-term would be, but I didn't have any issues with driver flex on this set listening to it. Now, just talking about sound in a nutshell, some of the things that I liked. Great bass, really nice bass. I'll pull up a graph here, and you can see that the bass shelf is higher than everything else. It really is, which will make some really nice bottom end. It has really nice attack and decay. It adds weight to the notes. Male vocals, very, very nice. And then the rest of the glide down into the mids. Now, it's a bit of a strange tuning, where the bass shelf kind of glides down to about 400 hertz, and then about 500 to 600. It starts to climb up in an elevated ear gain, but not really a very sharp pinna gain, very low on that. And then you have that dip around 4,000, and then a peak. It climbs up to about 6K with some about 8 dB of gain, which is a bit strange in the treble region, and then some extended top end for sure. Now, with this kind of tuning and looking at a graph, again, graphs are tools, and this is a great one in reading, in learning how to read graphs, because it does sound exactly like graphs. The bass shelf is prominent, not overbearing, and we'll talk about the mids and how that affects the rest of the tuning, climbing up into the ear gain and the treble. My next note, one of the things that a standout for this set is the amazing air and details you get in the top end. Very, very cool. Unique tuning. And with this, I think some will love this with its incredibly crazy stage because of all that air and details in the treble. And others will not enjoy this set. I'm one of those. And I'll tell you why. This IM, the Mest Mark II, is an easy to drive and listen to IM. Whether it be your taste in tuning or not, that remains to be heard. The ESTs. I'm a fan of ESTs. These would be probably the first generation of Sonyan ESTs. They didn't output that much, but that's probably why they're throwing in that full-range bone conduction driver as well, and that's also doing something. The ESTs and probably that bone conduction driver are adding some nice details to the trailing edges of notes, especially in the high end. The application for me for this bone conduction driver is different from the elastic bone conduction drivers that you see in like the Bula Anvil and the K-Bear KBO2, and different again from the Sonyan bone conduction drivers that look like ESTAT drivers as well. So there's about 3 different kinds of bone conduction drivers that are out there. And this one is kind of using like a double-sided flat disc, and I think I have a graph. I can pull that up here too to show you the kind of the internals of this bad boy. Some cons, some negatives for me. Well, the tuning. It's thin. This kind of tuning with the very flat pina gain, the ear rise into the mids and the upper mids and into the high frequencies. It makes a very thin-sounding, hollow-sounding mid-range. There's just not enough note weight. Here you have all that, the nice weight in the bass and the nice decay into the lower mids, and then you have a little bit of flat and then rise up into the upper mids and highs. There's just, you got all the weight down below, but you have none up top. So it makes a very thin, dry, and airy kind of sounding IM. And if you love that kind of tuning, then there you go. But it doesn't make the tonality of vocals and instrumental. It's not accurate. It sounds off. It sounds thin to my ears. And that's the way the Mest Mkii comes across. A lot of this listening I did on a couple devices. I got the DX 340 back from loan. That came back, but I was doing that, listening to that all yesterday with that. That is a phenomenal sounding source adapt. The DC Elite, the Ibasso Nunchaku, and I was listening to some tubes on the Kai Designs Tap 1 Pro. So here I thought it added it added some nice. It tones down the top end a little bit. It tames it down a little bit, which was nice, but I still didn't think I was adding the weight where it needed to be, which would be in the upper mids, and it doesn't add any more kind of depth to the mid-range and a fullness to it. It still sounds missing something. It doesn't sound full-bodied in the mid-range at all. I'll reiterate, if you're a fan of the thin and dry kind of tuning, lots of top end, sparkle, this is your set. This is your jam. The Mest Mkii is a specialty set. It's definitely not an all-rounder. Is it going to work for female vocals? No, because they sound thin. They don't have an edge and a bite to them as you'd have with something that had a little bit more information into the upper mids to make them sound more tonally correct, in my opinion. Is it good for male vocals? Yeah, I think it is. Percussion sound good. Piano sound good. Electric guitar is not. Joe Satriani again. Ice 9. I would ice this set. So again, a specialty set. Again, I would highly recommend you borrow this set as I did to get a feel if you'd liked it or not. Over this last weekend, I had a couple local audiophiles over with Howard and Jeff, and we sat down with a bunch of gear, and I also gave them an opportunity to listen to the set, and they were like-minded like myself, and not for them either. So, and it was kind of funny, and I was kind of parroting my thoughts when Jeff said, well, thanks for letting me hear it, you saved me some money. And that's exactly what I thought when Seek and my friend let me borrow a couple of these sets. So, in one hand, I'm super, super thankful for getting a chance to listen to this set and sharing it with you if you ever were thinking about picking up this set, because I wish I would have heard a review like this and it would have taken it off of my radar, because that's not my tuning. So that's why I'm putting out this video. If you have preferences like myself, and I'm not a big fan of maybe overly lush, overly warm upper mids or too energetic there. But it's got to have enough up there to the tonality and of instruments and vocals. For me, especially female vocals, do have to sound correct. And there's just an off balance with the Mest Mark II. Great bass, missing something in the upper mids, and massive amount of treble and sparkle and detail. So, though it's not fatiguing, at least that I find it, I just know that this tuning, and for every kind of music that I listen to, it wasn't for me. So, thank you for watching. And right after this, I'm going to do another one with the Sony, which is, again, a loaner from Zekin, and the IER M9. And, yeah, so much appreciated. Cheers.